Chris
Gorski.
Welcome to This Week at Four Horsemen, the Four Horsemen comics and gaming sponsored show where we talk about this week's events, sales, promotions, and other nerdy topics. This is the owner and operator, Ron Davis, and I, of course, am your video production manager, Rhino Lachlan. Say hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Good job. All right, we're going to start off this episode with a giveaway. We're going to put a image up on the screen. This image will be posted on all of our social media outlets tomorrow morning. We're going to run it for a week and do a comment contest. Then we're going to pick a winner live next week on the air. And that image is coming soon.
Should we talk about the internet tonight?
Oh yes, we do.
By the way,
we do have to. Go ahead. You're the techie.
So we're currently having a problem with our internet. So tonight's show is being brought to you by Alex's phone, which we're using to stream from. So
yeah, the spot is hot.
Yes.
Boom. There you go.
Hello,
Sulu.
Oh my.
What is Sulu's first name?
Hikaru.
Hikaru. Good job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hikaru.
Give him the old Forrest D. Kelly there.
Look, he looks so concerned for poor Sulu.
I mean, he does. That's his job. He's the chief medical officer. Anyways, we're going to post this on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook tomorrow morning. It's going to be up till the show next Tuesday. Put your funniest comment on there. We're going to pick a winner on the show and give away a $30 gift card.
Do you have a caption for that already?
Surely
you have to.
I have like 7.
Okay.
But only 2 of them are safe. 1 of them are safe for work. Yeah, we won't be reading the not safe for work ones on the show.
Probably
All right,
not.
moving on to comic books, where we have the much anticipated Bubba Hotep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers #1. Have you seen this movie?
I saw it a long time ago. I just remember it's got Bruce Campbell in it. One of my favorite actors ever. And it was really, really goofy, but I really liked it.
Yeah, so if you've never seen it, it's a B movie with Bruce Campbell.
That's being
B
generous.
stands for Bruce. Very not safe for work. But definitely check it out. This is an installation of that story where Richard Nixon has to recruit Elvis, played by Bruce Campbell, who's Bubba Hotep, to fight some alien vampires or something.
It's Bubba Hotep.
It's Bubba Hotep. Now, for something a little more cool, or shall we say, kick-ass.
That is very kick-ass.
This is issue 4 of the new run of Kick-Ass, and I'm reading this, and I gotta say, I was skeptical that they went with a new character. This isn't Dave Lazuski.
Right.
I have enjoyed this
really
thoroughly. Yeah, so it's about a mom who was in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay.
She comes home to her 5 kids to find that her husband has left her. And she had already enrolled in college, and she has to support herself, her 5 children, and she has to pay for college while working in a diner as a server, and she can't do it. Go figure.
Yeah, surprise.
So she starts robbing from criminals. She hits up this skeezy strip joint that's like a front for a drug place.
Yeah.
And she steals $20,000 from them in the first and second issue, and she gives half of it to charity and the rest to her family. And she starts doing that.
Modern day Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really good. Highly recommend this book.
Got a few more people joining us in. Mr. Blaine and Rita and David. Howdy.
Wave. Yes. And we also have Ether, the Copper Golems issue #1 that's coming out this week. And I wanted to point this one out just for the art. This is some Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds kind of stuff going on here.
So me and Alex were talking about this cover earlier, and I can't remember what Alex said, but it reminds me of the DVD cover for Leonard Part 6. Do you remember that movie at all? Google it, kids. Don't Google it now.
I was Ralph Bashki's Wizards.
Okay.
I got nothing on that one. But this, the book look. Is the cover art unique to the book, or is that like throughout the whole thing? Because it looks very trippy.
I wanted to get a chance to grab it and flip through it before I came up here, but.
See, that's the kind of book you'd read under a black light.
All right, next book. Next one. Moving on. All right, from DC, we have a Superman special. This is not an annual, but it is a one-shot. Dinosaurs.
And
Superman dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the guy shooting?
That is One-Eyed Captain Jack Willie.
I'll go with that.
I don't know who that is. Every Superman fan out there is cringing this. Oh, that's
You don't know who that is.
That's
That's the one guy.
Superhero franchise I'm a little more invested in. We have an X-Men one-shot. This is the X-Men Wedding Special where Mr. Rasputin and Miss Pride finally tie the knot.
Really?
Yes. But that's not the best part.
Okay.
The best part is perhaps the best X-Men writer has been brought back onto this out of retirement. Chris MF and Claremont.
The best X-Men
The best
writer.
X-Men writer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So this is a one-shot. Comes out tomorrow. Definitely check it out. I'm super stoked.
She's like stuck in his leg, though.
Well, she can.
Probably
You know
get
what
that
she
looked
does,
at.
right?
She
Her
does.
powers. Yeah.
She like phases through, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. What was her original name? What was her like super X-Men name?
Wasn't it always? I don't know.
Shadowcat.
Oh, Shadowcat. Yeah.
Shadowcat.
Yeah. Yep.
But like Jean Grey, they kind of dropped it with her and just
Yeah.
used her name. I
Yeah.
like Shadowcat. I think that was a cool name.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, moving on. In Star Wars, we have Poe Dameron issue number 27. Where's this scene? Tell me what this is.
That he's in the Falcon, right?
Yeah, and where place this?
Place it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like where in the Star Wars story, what is happening?
Oh, wait, he's talking to Rey and Finn.
So it could only logically be.
But he never met. Oh, this is immediately after
This
Last
so
Jedi.
actually last issue
Yeah.
picks up immediately where Last Jedi ends
Oh.
with the three of them sitting down.
Yeah,
and
'cause they've
kinda
never
catching
met.
up.
Yeah.
So in
Oh,
issue
yeah.
26 of Poe Dameron, we actually see the first real conversation that Rey and Poe ever had.
That's cool.
And she thinks he's a jerk. It's kind of funny because he mentions how he's the best pilot in the galaxy like 3 times, and she's like, "Well, I taught myself.
Actually.
I taught myself how to fly using simulators and a busted AT-AT, and then I flew the Falcon with no problem." And Finn's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rey's the best pilot in the galaxy." But anyways, so last issue they pick up there, and Poe is actually narrating his side of The Force Awakens. So from the crash of the TIE fighter on Jakku, we see what actually happens and how he gets back to Dakar.
I have wondered about that story for so long.
And this is part 2 of that story.
Oh,
It's
excellent.
really cool.
Okay.
So they actually, in issue 25, they ended the whole pre-Force Awakens story, and now they've jumped post-Last Jedi.
Yeah. See, I was never really convinced that he wasn't like an Empire spy or something, because his time was just unaccounted for from the time of the crash till he shows up.
Oh, he had a heck of a time getting back to
Really?
the Resistance. Yeah, it was rough.
All right.
All right.
Ray is better than Launchpad McQuack.
Who is Launchpad McQuack?
He was in DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Woo!
All right. We're on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to my staff pick, where I'm recommending a manga this week. This is My Wife Wagatsume-san.
Okay.
Okay. This is a heist. This is a time travel story that's
Okay.
also a high school romantic comedy.
Okay.
I just wanted to watch you cry.
Oh.
So, it's about a guy who's in his second year of high school.
Okay.
He's a total loser, and I know you're with me on this,
I
right?
can relate.
Can't
It's a documentary.
can't even talk to girls really. He's like
Yep.
Raj. He just can't talk to
Shuts
girls.
down.
He has a crush on the most popular girl at school,
Yeah.
Wagatsume-san. And let the weeb go. Let your weeb fly.
Flow through you.
Turns out, whenever he falls asleep, he travels 10 years forward in time, where he's married to her. And there's this whole set of circumstances that convinces him that these aren't dreams, this is real. He's actually time traveling through his dreams, where he's married to this girl.
Yeah.
So it's like this story where you know the beginning and you know the end, and the whole process is filling in the in-between, like, how did we get to this point? But he decided he does kind of like this superhero-esque thing where he looks up his friends in the future, sees how they're doing. They're all doing badly, and then he
So
uses
he's trying to help him out.
he uses that knowledge to help them. Like, he has a friend who's a bit of a perv, and he's in jail for some questionable activities, and he uses that knowledge. He's like, hey, stop it. And then he has another friend He does this to help like his whole family. His sister gets hooked up with this really bad guy. He uses this knowledge to break up that relationship.
Yeah.
And like the climax comes to this point where he realizes he can't help everybody because he has this friend who's dying of cancer in the future.
Oh.
And he has to try and convince this person to stop smoking and start exercising and all this.
Right.
And it comes to this huge like story plot line where the friend still dies and he has to like realize I can't help everybody.
Oh wow.
And
that's very Spider-Man.
It is kind of Spider-Man, but it's very deep and it's really funny.
Huh.
And that's not
cool.
It's not super pervy. I know pervy. It is pervy, but it's not super pervy. Like it's on a more mild end of fan service. I know if you're not somebody who's accustomed to manga, you're probably looking in this cover going like, I don't know, but trust me, it's very mild.
But yeah, from a lot of the covers I've seen, this is actually pretty good.
If this were a Taco Bell sauce, this would be a yellow packet.
That's my new rating system for everything from now on.
That's really good. I love it.
Very cool. Check it out.
Versus series. So what happened?
Jareth, how did he get that close?
He lost by two
votes.
Two
but
votes.
How? He should have been obliterated.
He should have been.
I love Jareth. I'm sorry, buddy, but you didn't stand a chance.
I think we talked about this last week where like he's just cool, but he doesn't really have like a lot of combat value.
There's no power there.
Yeah. So who won our comment contest?
Mr. Paul Mills, you can't expel Ramos the magic dance. Magic dance.
Come on, baby, put that spell on me. I don't know.
That needs to be one of our closing episodes.
We could do it tonight.
I don't have the pants for it, but go ahead.
This week we have She-Hulk versus Pikachu. Team She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Sorry, Pikachu.
All right, let's
squish.
No, let's be on Team Pikachu hypothetically. Like, what's a situation? Like maybe he coddles her into a false sense of security,
maybe, and then electrocutes her.
He's like, "Come pet me, Pikachu." And she's like petting him, and he electrocutes her.
She'd have to really.
Raining.
Has to be
She's
raining,
in a puddle of water. Yeah.
You gotta have like a full connection.
Yeah, he's got to have like his hand on a massive generator or something.
It'd probably have to be a Raichu too.
Yeah. He'd have to. If he evolved a couple levels, maybe.
I don't know. I think I'm Team She-Hulk here. Yeah, there's some pretty good comments on this one. I'm excited to see who wins the comment contest.
Yeah. The comments will be good.
Yeah.
The match, not so much.
No, not so much. Hopefully we get better one next week.
Yep.
All right, jumping in to events.
So those two
Hearthstone.
So we had a Hearthstone event last week. Had 15, 16 players come up for our first event. It was great. We're going to make it a regular event here. We're going to invite people to bring out their favorite Hearthstone device of choice, and we'll play.
All right. So, yeah, regular Hearthstone events. Something people have been asking for a while.
Yeah.
Finally getting that going.
Yep.
Thanks to everybody who came out.
Thank you.
Now, this week's events, we've got our calendar image with everything going on this week. That is actually last week's.
That is it?
It is.
Yes, it is.
But no worries. You can go to facebook.com/4horsemencomics and click on the events tab, and you can view our full schedule of events this week. Not a problem, because we've got you covered. Social medias.
Got you.
Now, going on to this week's events, we want to announce that we have 2 regular Commander play nights. That's Thursday night and all day on Sunday. We are encouraging people to bring out their Brawl decks to these.
What is Brawl?
Brawl is the new format sponsored by Wizards of the Coast that is essentially standard Commander.
Okay.
All the same Commander rules.
Right.
But only standard legal cards.
Oh, okay.
So, restrictions breed creativity.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first response to this.
Okay.
Maybe
So it's a smaller card pool that you can use.
Yeah, but it gives you an ability to use some cards that probably aren't powerful enough to see play in Standard or Commander, but now you can use them in Brawl.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Why do they call it Brawl, you think?
I don't know. My theory behind this is that it's actually going to be a format on their new digital game, MTG Arena.
Okay.
Because in MTG Arena, they're not going to have the full card pool for Modern or Legacy or Commander, so they have this Commander variant that they're going to use on that.
Huh. Okay.
But we'll see how it takes off in paper.
Cool. Got a HeroClix event coming up too. Awesome. So this week's HeroClix event in honor of Deadpool, which comes out Thursday. I can't believe it's so fast.
2 days.
Yeah. Wednesday at 6:45. It's
9 days till Star Wars.
Han Solo. Deadpool. Oh yes.
I'm gonna shoot first. Come back.
Whew. Okay, Wednesday 6:45 is gonna have a $5. I can't believe you said it. We're gonna celebrate the
Somebody
Deadpool
please call.
2
I
release.
actually didn't mean that in a dirty way.
I bet you didn't. Format: you got to have a 600-point army. It's Golden Age format, and the team must have a character named Deadpool. It could be Deadpool.
Yeah, and
whatever.
your Deadpool character will actually all your characters need to share a keyword, and your Deadpool character will gain that keyword.
Oh,
Yeah.
like taco.
No, like death touch.
I want my.
Don't know any HeroClix keywords. Just no magic ones. Yeah.
The power of the taco.
HeroClix. We also have our Friday night Pokemon May Challenge.
May challenge, yep.
Yeah, and that's this Friday at 6:30 with $5 entry. We got some bigger prizes.
We got some much bigger prizes coming up. We're gonna take care of some prize things.
Yes, and we will have a door prize if we hit 20 players, so definitely come out because
Which
that
won't
means
be a problem.
more for one and all. We usually definitely hit 20 players on all of these events.
Yep.
And we also have coming up, Standard is back in full force here at Horsemen Comics and Gaming, doing a Standard Magic Win-A-Box this Saturday at 2. $12.50 gets you in. Need 8 players, but if you win, you're going to take home a
whole
full
box.
booster box.
Yes. Who's
Yes.
that? Who is the character? She almost looks like Chandra with the fire coming off of her.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know who that is. I mean, she could be Chandra, I guess, maybe?
I'm like 2 or 3 chapters behind in the story, so I don't know who that is. Actually,
cool.
I think that's I forget her name.
Sahili, maybe?
No, that's the descendant of Captain Sisay. I forget her name.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but she's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks pretty cool.
She's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
Three
There's an
Rivers
event.
Comic Con. So there is this awesome convention that's going on in Pittsburgh, more specifically West Mifflin this weekend. It's Three Rivers Comic Con. It's at the old West Mifflin Mall this Saturday and Sunday. And the store has actually vended there the past 2 years. Unfortunately, we weren't able to fit it into the schedule this year, not because of the event, just because of us and we're idiots. But we just kind of wanted to give them a shout out because the past 2 years we've been there, they've just been purely awesome to us. We've been to a lot of conventions in the past few years, and they have treated us the best out of all of them for sure. It's a really good show. Their whole thing is they're trying to put the comic back in Comic-Con, and we just kind of wanted to give them a shout out and a recommendation. Definitely check them out.
yeah, these guys put on a really great show, and we can't recommend them highly enough.
Yeah, it's ran by the folks who operate the New Dimensions comic stores. There's like 4 or 5 in the Pittsburgh area. They're beautiful stores.
Yep, all are fantastic.
Yeah, definitely check them out if you're up that way.
Cool.
So, 9
Can we just look
days.
at this for like a few minutes? Let's just
days.
sit back and take it in.
9 days. So we've had this conversation where the newer trailers, not just for Han Solo, but also for The Last Jedi. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
the magic of the trailers has worn off a little bit because with Force Awakens it was like we're going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Rogue One was just so visually
yeah.
stunning, and then with The Last Jedi, like not that we weren't excited for the movie, but it's just like that same like trailer magic wasn't
Yep.
there.
Yep.
And with the first Han Solo trailer, I kind of felt the same way.
I was a little deflated after watching it, but
The second, have you seen this?
I finally had
I'm
to.
a little more excited now.
Yeah, I was forced to see it because I couldn't get out of the theater fast enough.
During Infinity War.
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Could
That
not get out.
train heist.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
looks real good.
So I'll tell you what actually like got me like that. I'm kind of like super hooked on this movie now.
Yeah.
Is the you hadn't actually heard Lando yet in any
Right.
of the previous trailers, and there's that line where Han walks into his sabacc game, and he's like, "I've heard a lot about you," and Lando's just like, "Everything you've heard about me is true." And I'm like, that is so Lando! 10 out of 10! Like, even my biggest concern
That's
about this
great.
movie is I'm not convinced that this kid is Han Solo.
Yeah,
and the whole time,
yep.
I'm just thinking, this kid isn't Han Solo. But that guy's Lando.
He's definitely Lando.
He's
yeah.
going to save
Yeah.
this. Oh.
Yeah. I think he's going to steal the show. I'm concerned about Han Solo.
Aaron Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never trusted Davis.
No. But anyways, we are doing a full Star Wars show next week in celebration of Solo: A Star Wars Story, so make sure to tune in.
Yep.
All right, we're going to curb that. Moving on to This Week in Movies, where
I'm so excited for this movie.
we're going to see Flashdance 2. Or, I'm sorry, this is Deadpool 2. Why are you excited for Deadpool 2?
I rewatched Deadpool last night, and it was just so off the wall. It's movie magic. I just like the insanity of it.
Yeah,
it's just
absurdity is a big attraction.
Yeah. How about you?
Basically the same reason. So I'm trying to go in a little conservatively. I'm not trying to get super excited because this is coming in between Infinity War and a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not build this up a lot, and I want to go in and I just want to have a lot of fun. And I think that's all. There are no expectations for this movie other than for it to be fun.
It's just going to be fun and funny. It's going to be a couple hours of laughs. That's it.
And we're going to spoil everything on next week's episode.
Thank you, Ryan Reynolds.
Everyone who dies. we're just going to have a list. And the following characters die.
No
ends
more.
a Deadpool 2.
Deadpool did not die.
All right. So in celebration of Deadpool 2, we are doing a top 10 X-Men movies. So Deadpool 2 is actually the 11th X-Men movie. So we're going to top 10 the first 10. But we're trying something different. Ron doesn't actually have one.
Nope.
I have my top 10 X-Men movies, and we're going to start from the bottom at number 10, and Ron is going to guess them, and we're going to see how close you get.
How close?
And I'm just going to kind of mark them off as we go. So, my number 10 X-Men film is... All right, and going over them, X-Men, X2, X-Men United, X-Men
X3.
The Last Stand. So that's the first trilogy.
Right.
And then we have the Wolverine trilogy, was X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, Logan.
Right.
And then we have the new trilogy, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and then we have the first Deadpool movie.
Right.
Okay. So what's my number 10, Ron?
I'm going to say... Did you type all those up? Nope. I want to say X2.
This is not my number 10.
How close was I? Is X2 in? Yeah, it's got to be in your list. There's only 10 of them.
It's actually my number 9.
Is it? Oh, okay.
It's my number 9, yeah.
So X3 then is number 10.
Yeah. I really, because I think there's a real obvious number 10 for most people. Now these are not these are super polarizing movies.
Yeah.
But I think there's one that sticks out among all of them that's kind of universally considered to be the worst one by a mile.
All right, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, I actually liked it.
No, I'm not. I like all of these movies.
Yeah.
And some of them are not good movies.
Yeah.
But I like them anyway.
I still like them, yeah.
But I still think that Wolverine Origins has got to be the bottom
that
of
one
the
was real
barrel.
bad.
I mean,
I wanted that movie to be so good, and it was so
it's
bad.
a fun movie. I enjoy watching it, but
it wasn't.
It's got to be number 10.
Yeah.
I mean, if for nothing else, and I'm not even a big Deadpool fan, but for what they did to that character, it's just cringy.
Well, sew your mouth shut. I wouldn't recommend that.
And the first half an hour where you actually get Ryan Reynolds as Wade, is really cool.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is gonna be
awesome.
And then at the end, they're like,
yeah. What happened to Deadpool? Who is that? That is not Deadpool.
Yeah. So number 10, X-Men, and then I already took my number 9.
Okay, number 9.
Is X2.
X2.
Which for me is a great movie, but I thought Stryker.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know. There's so many great X-Men villains out there, and
he was. Yeah, they could have done so much more with that.
Yeah. So number 8.
X3. Is that the one with the Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay, that's number 8.
No.
Really? That's higher? Oh, God. All right, so the second Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wolverine
probably
would be in my top 3 if it weren't for the last 30 minutes.
Really?
I think it should have ended when he goes back to the house and he fights the dad.
Yeah.
Instead,
Yes,
you
yeah,
go.
yep.
They go back to that thing where Silver Samurai comes up and he's a mech.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
it's the big reveal where the guy was dead isn't dead, and it's just like, what's going on?
Why is this movie still going?
And the guy who's supposed to be Silver Samurai never becomes Silver Samurai.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that movie had a couple endings more than it should have.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Yeah. All right, so which ones have I used?
Okay, so number 10 is Wolverine.
Okay.
And number 9 is X2.
Right.
And then number 8 is The Wolverine.
Right.
All right, so now we're on number 7.
Wait, we haven't. All right, X3. Now, really? God.
Would you like to guess again?
Let me give you another guess.
Sure.
Oh man, First Class.
Nope.
What? All right, here. This better be wrong. What number?
You're
we on?
showing him my list.
Well, these are all the possibilities.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. How did I not pick up on that? I bet I can get every one right this time. How is that? What? What is wrong with you?
It doesn't. My enjoyment of X-Men movies is my enjoyment of the X-Men characters, and
Not
aside
necessarily, yeah.
from Colossus, the Deadpool movie
Yeah.
doesn't involve any of those.
Remind me. I have a question about Colossus, but not for the stream. I actually,
About
I think you know what it's about.
yeah, and they actually answered it in the comics.
Did they really?
She phased through the floor. It's so funny. she landed in like somebody. I think it was Wolverine. She landed in Wolverine's room in her birthday suit.
Wow. That's
Maybe
awesome.
Maybe it was Beast. I forget. It was the best. It was in Josh Whedon's run that he wrote.
Yeah.
It was so
That's
funny.
amazing.
Astonishing
my
X-Men.
God.
It was astonishing.
Astonishing.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're working on number 7.
Yeah. What's
I
my
feel like I
seven?
can't look at that now.
So, I actually mixed up my 7 and my 8. I had, but it could go either way.
So,
So, all right. So, what's my number 7?
all right, so I know what it is now.
What is it?
The Wolverine,
Well,
maybe.
those are the two I mixed up. But,
Okay.
So that's my 7. What's my number 8?
Which ones have we done? The next two. I still want to say X3.
No,
How is X3 not low on your list? That one was so bad.
I love it.
And I like those characters and I like that story, but they butchered it so bad.
At that point, when I had seen that movie, I had never read a single X-Men comic.
Really?
Yeah.
That was one of the few stories that I had some knowledge of. Anyway.
The entire time, the entire time I'm watching these X-Men movies, the first 2 X-Men movies, like, these are so great, I love them, but what I want is this giant battle at the end with all the
Everyone,
mutants,
yeah. Yep.
and then the Last Stand comes and gives me that, and I'm
Yep.
like, yes! And this friggin' with, like, Magneto flinging guns and tanks, I was like, this is what I want! And Kelsey Grammer is Beast, and I was like, yes! And Ellen Page as Kitty Pryde, this was like, everything! Give it all to me! With the ruined Phoenix, I don't care!
Actually.
Which I have not. It is a very bad adaptation of that.
Yeah.
But I personally have very fond memories and strong feelings towards that movie, and I like it a lot.
All right.
Okay, so my number 8 is X-Men.
Okay.
My number 7 is the Wolverine.
Right.
My number 6. Go.
X2 then.
No, that was my number 9.
Okay. See, the rest of they start getting good at this point.
It stands apart from the rest. My number 6.
Deadpool?
Yes.
Why?
Because
Deadpool was almost a perfect movie.
So this is my top 10 favorites.
Okay.
If I rank this as top 10 best films,
Right.
it would probably be number 3 for me, because it is a better movie than almost all of these movies. But it is not my favorite because I am a fan of Wolverine. I'm a fan of Kitty Pryde. I'm a fan of Nightcrawler.
Right.
I'm a fan of Hank McCoy.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
She's fine. I do like Mr. Rasputin a lot,
Yeah,
Mr. Colossus,
yeah.
but I mean, and I like Deadpool, but it doesn't rank up higher because I'm an X-Men fan, and it
It's
more
sort
than
of
a
like
Deadpool
yeah,
fan,
yeah.
But I put it higher. I had to put it higher than some of these because it's just better.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
Number 5, Days of Future Past.
It's funny because we're finally at that point, and you didn't guess it first.
So we've got X-Men, X2, X3.
Yes.
Finally. Gosh.
Number 4.
That should have been way down on the list. Logan.
Nope. Rogan.
We have X-Men, X2, X3.
Yep.
The Wolverine.
Yep.
What was the second Wolverine movie?
The Wolverine, which is my number
All right,
7.
What was the first one? Oh, that was
Origins, which is my number 10.
What the hell's left?
So, all right, the 4 that we have left in no particular order are all 3 of the new trilogy plus Logan.
It's not gonna be Logan. It better not be Logan.
Because you already guessed that.
All right, so
you
and it's not Days of Future Past.
No, you only have 2 other movies to guess.
First Class.
No.
What's the other one?
Apocalypse.
Oh God, that was bad.
No, I love Apocalypse.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Part of my love of the X-Men is that my favorite superhero franchises are teams, where you get multiple characters,
all
with
together.
multiple powers, and they have to work better together as a team. And Apocalypse is one of the best movies that features that.
Yeah, on both sides. I mean, yeah.
The villains and the and that's another thing I loved about X-Men is it's the X-Men, which is this team of superpowered mutants working for good, versus the Brotherhood, which is a team of superpowered mutants working for bad.
Right.
And you got that in Apocalypse, even though it wasn't the Brotherhood.
Right.
And also Quicksilver. Quicksilver.
All right, Quicksilver was my favorite parts of that movie.
And I love Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
Yeah.
Like
when,
when they recast Ian McKellen, and it was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Gotta throw Star Wars in there. But Michael Fassbender is amazing. He's the best part of bad movies like Prometheus.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Apocalypse at number 4. Top 3. Let's knock them out.
Logan.
No.
Oh, still not Logan. First Class.
Yes.
All right.
First Class for many of the reasons I love Apocalypse, but it's just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're down to Logan and First Class.
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. So which one's number 1?
Days of Future Past
is my number 1.
Yeah.
It is
Because the Sentinels.
the Sentinels.
I love the Sentinels.
It's the best X-Men movie because you get all of the characters.
Yeah.
They all matter. They all do something. You get the original trilogy characters. You get the old trilogy characters. And it's also a good movie that's well written and structured well. And it's not like a lot of the other ones where they're bad movies, but I love them because they're fun. And it's everything.
Star Trek Generations. A lot of parallels. Old stuff, new stuff, all mashed together. No?
Yes. Sure. And then Logan is number 2. It's real close. Logan is fantastic.
Logan's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's keep going.
Good. All
right, 4 Horsemen mailbag. You can write into us. Send us your 4 Horsemen mailbag questions. We will answer them live on the air. What sci-fi location would you love to visit on a field trip with Miss Frizzle in the Magic School Bus?
Does it have to be actual? Oh,
Alex.
Alex.
All right, we're tuning in to field correspondent Alex Yon, who has a question or an answer.
Arrakis.
Oh, why would you go there?
From
There's huge worms.
Right, with the spice.
Oh, the spice must flow.
That's where I would go.
Yeah, but can you imagine Miss Frizzle on Spice?
Oh, yeah.
Get in, kids!
No. Ron?
All right, so mine wouldn't actually be a sci-fi location. Mine would be an actual location. If I have the power of the Magic School Bus, I want to go to the event horizon of a black hole. Just to kind of peek in.
All right, so I guess we're taking Magic School Bus rules where everything is totally safe and no child is ever in danger at any point.
Getting smashed.
As a kid, I'm always like, why are there only 8 kids in this class? Because they keep dying.
Miss Frizzle, we need another Timmy.
One of the kids' name is Tim. One of the kids is Tim, yeah. And like the whole... I've been watching a lot of Magic School Bus lately because Drake is hooked on it. But one of the kids... The annoying one. That doesn't narrow it down. But one of the girls like just moved to their school and she's always going, at my old school. It's like she's replacing one of the kids who died. My answer.
Where you want to go?
So my first thought, of course, I go to Star Wars first, and I'm thinking Forest Moon Endor, Kashyyyk, like those would be great.
Yeah.
But I think if I only can pick one, it has to be Kronos.
Before or after?
Either. But just imagine the school bus like doing its spinny thing and then it turns into a bird of prey. They land on Kronos. And like the nerdy kid who always complains about the field trip, he's Arnold. And he gets off and like a Klingon warrior greets him and then knocks him on his butt. And then Miss Frizzle steps off in full Klingon armor regalia. She goes, "No, Arnold, that's not how you greet someone on Kronos." And she knocks his butt in the ground and then like breaks his nose. "Now, class, that's how you handle Klingons." I think.
You're right.
All right, so let's move on to Did You Know Four Horsemen? Ron, what do you know about Four Horsemen?
What? I don't know very much.
Well,
to be honest
do you know
with you.
that thing?
We do know a thing. So we buy cards. Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much you name it, we do buy them.
Yeah, as
cash
long as
and
it's
credit.
a sellable condition.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can bring it in and get cash.
Yep. Value always depends on the card and the condition, but yeah, bring them in. Let us.
If you
have a look
drew
at
on it with a Sharpie, we will not buy it.
Probably not.
We will not buy it. Unless it's a Black Lotus, we're not going to buy it.
Buy all those.
Yeah. And we also have a sale this week.
We do. In honor of the resurgence of Standard in the Magic community, we're going to have a 20% off Standard Magic singles when you play in a Standard or draft event.
Yes, which we have 3 Standard events and 1 draft event this week. So come play in one of those. Get 20% off those singles. Just make sure to mention this week at Four Horsemen at the counter. All right, let's roll some social medias. We got to get out of here. Please like us at facebook.com/4horsemencomics. Follow us on Instagram at 4horsemencomics. Watch all of our streaming content at youtube.com/c/4horsemencomicsgaming. Follow us on Twitter at the number 4horsemencomics. Watch our gaming content at twitch.tv/4horsemencomics. And shop our TCG inventory at shop.4horsemencomics.com.
.com.
And we didn't film our post-credits
We did not.
scene. But we will bring lightsabers next week.
Okay.
And for our Star Wars episode, we'll reenact a scene from Star Wars with lightsabers.
Okay.
And then we'll finish up the Princess Bride the following week.
All right.
So
What's your favorite lightsaber battle?
my favorite lightsaber battle it's down to 2.
Really? Okay.
And I have a hard time picking. It's either Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, or Obi-Wan versus Anakin.
Yeah.
I think to me
I like that one. Because to me, that's what the whole thing is all
that's
about.
the culmination. That's the culmination of the story.
Yeah.
But as a kid, like the most iconic one to me, and I saw Revenge of the Sith when I was 16.
Yeah.
So as a child, the most iconic one was the fight with Darth Maul. Duel of Fates.
Oh yeah, the score.
Qui-Gon dying, which I saw that when I was 9. That crushed me. And then that comeback where Obi-Wan cuts him in half. It's just...
So can I tell you a real quick story? So Chris, the missus, hi honey, goes to all the premieres with me for every Star Wars ever. Went to go see episode 1, and she's usually very stoic through all these things. And by stoic I mean asleep. That instant when Darth Maul got Qui-Gon, she said, that was the most exciting I've ever heard her. Yeah. I mean, so that was huge.
Okay, to my 9-year-old mind, that was like to my 9-year-old mind, that was like the Sixth Sense moment. Oh my God!
What just happened?
Where to anybody who knows anything about the hero's journey and making a story like, oh, he's the he's the Obi-Wan. He's going to die.
Yeah.
But this is obviously going to happen. But me, 9-year-old in the theater with my giant thing of popcorn. No! Because like to this day, my favorite part of that movie is Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson. It's just that
He's a good Jedi.
He's
good
a
guy.
he was
Good guy. So credits next week.
Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's mine.
That's mine. Episode 3.
No, he's not talking about
Darth
episode 3.
Vader versus Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's talking about A New
Star
Hope.
Wars. A New
Oh,
Hope.
that one?
It's the best battle ever
Oh my God! Why?
because he doesn't raise a sword. Obi-Wan doesn't raise a sword, and he becomes one with the Force.
Oh, he defends himself.
No, he doesn't. He lets it down. He just
I mean, they
Strike me down.
they trade blows for a bit.
Yeah, but
Until-
he's
until,
just like,
like,
he does one of
he
these
sees
things.
that Luke is safe and that Luke is like hanging back to wait for him, and no, we can't
Yeah.
have this. But and that is significant and wonderful and amazing. But looking at it as a movie, that fight.
Because in the canon you've got Rogue One that happened like 20 minutes before this movie, and Darth Vader just going off the chain and destroying everybody. But meanwhile, in the lightsaber, it's like, maybe he's just winded.
So the novel, from a certain point of view, which is A New Hope from like 40 different
Yeah.
viewpoints, they do that battle from Obi-Wan's view, and it's like
Ooh,
that'd
be pretty cool.
I don't want to fight him. I'm just testing him. I'm seeing how this is going. Like I just gotta keep him focused on me
Right.
till I see that Luke has made it out. Okay, Luke is no
Looks
die.
good.
Now I can die.
And I'm done.
Basically, which is kind of what everybody would have assumed anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just from like a production angle, it's hard to be critical.
Oh, I've picked that scene apart so many times.
I'm not. I won't be critical of the special effects because it was 1977,
Yeah.
and George Lucas put that together on a $12.50 budget with popsicle sticks and glue, and it looks as
They did amazing
The fact
things.
that it looks
Yeah.
as good as it does
Yeah.
is amazing. But okay, so I'm looking this back reflectively, where the standard for me for Star Wars lightsaber duels is Revenge of the Sith, where everybody's like freaking
Flipping
kung
around,
fu fights.
Yeah.
It's so George Lucas obviously had a different vision
Yep.
for that scene. So it's not fair for my mind that it's conditioned for kung fu fights to look back at this
judge it by that, yeah.
Shakespearean sword fights.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. All good. They're all good fights, though.
let's go home and watch Star Wars.
That sounds like a great idea.